Hi everyone, and welcome back to Wednesday's not toe of the week. Got a different video for you here. Gonna tell you why I was gone for a week. Come on back. You're not gonna want to miss this. Welcome back, everyone. Great to see you. Great to be back in doing another video for you. It is not the toe of the week video that I normally do on Wednesday. I explained in my Monday's video that I was going to stop doing them for a little while. It's just kind of a hassle because the toes don't even show. Why go through all the work of putting all the art on just for a few days and then I'm going to be changing it again? Just easier. If I do any open toe designs, like I said, I will show them with you guys, if I do anything from now until spring. But I'm still going to finish up my shoe collection. That'll be starting back next week. And then I'm going to show you the rest of the shoes and my boots. We'll do that. They'll just be, so it'll be a shorter video, but we'll finish that up. But anyways, today's video is on why I was gone for a week. All right, you guys. And actually it was longer than a week because I pre-record all of my videos. So it was almost 2 weeks. It would be almost 2 weeks. I think this Wednesday. So I always pre-record these videos. This is Monday. So Wednesday would be 2 weeks exactly because I pre-record all my videos. But anyways, the reason I was gone, you guys, I'm going to tell you. But let's go ahead and read our Words of Jesus for Women first. This one is a great one and it is going to pertain very good to what I'm going to tell you guys. This one is prayer partners. Always have a prayer partner, always. God, they always say when two or more are gathered, the presence of the Lord is always there. So remember that. Even though God is always there, his presence, he's really listening when you got more people gathered together praying. That's why they say there's power in prayer. Matthew 18:19. I also tell you this, if two of you agree here on earth concerning anything you ask, my Father in heaven will do it for you. And he surely will. And I'll tell you that much. God does answer prayers. He does. It goes on to say, prayer partners are a good thing. Praying with a friend gives accountability that you aren't trying to manipulate God. Praying together gives comfort that someone else understands what concerns you and what is on your heart. It builds a bond between two Christian women. Does this verse mean that God will always do exactly what you ask? Of course not. God sees a much bigger picture than you can. It does not mean that there is power. It does mean that there is power and blessing in praying with one another. There is definitely power. The bottom down here says nothing tends more to commend the hearts of Christians than praying together. Never do they love one another so well as when they witness the outpouring of each other's heart in prayer. I love that. And the reason I love how this one came up, and God sure works in mysterious ways, is because, my whole church caught COVID. Yes, my husband and I had COVID-19. We all were at a revival. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about that. We had an evangelist in our church. They were doing dinners in the evening. And so, of course, while you're eating, you're not wearing a mask, of course. And but it was a revival. Let me tell you, it was the most amazing revival ever. This evangelist is amazing. He's amazing at, preaching and just touching the hearts of many. I do have no regret at all that I went to all 4 nights of it and still, and caught COVID. Wasn't even from day one when I first found out, and of course was a little bit scared. All right. I still was saying to my pastor and all that I don't regret coming to these revivals. They definitely revived me, made me feel new and whole again with the Lord, drew me closer to the Lord, but just proves that even as Christians, hard things can come your way. But what the devil couldn't do was stop the revival. The devil was not able. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. We'll tell you that much. He certainly does, especially with this COVID going around and being so big everywhere. All right. but he couldn't stop the revival. Nobody got sick till after the revival. So if that doesn't tell you right there that there's power in God, because he made sure that all of us made it to all those revivals before any of us got ill. So that was an amazing thing right there. So the devil didn't take that away from us. And he didn't take away my joy for life or anything because I caught COVID. Now, that's why I love this, because we were a church united together, all united. We all knew what everybody was going through because we all were going through it. There's elders in the church. There's younger people in the church. There's unhealthy people in the church. There's healthy people in the church. It didn't matter. I'm sorry. Even the children got it. Everybody that attended that service, those services, every single one tested positive. The only one so far that I don't know about, and we'll have to ask again, would be the evangelist himself and his dad that was there. And maybe because he preaches and preaches and preaches the good word of God so much, or maybe God knew that something bad could happen to him. He's a little bit older. His dad was there too. His dad, it would be older. Maybe God just didn't allow it because God knew he wouldn't be able to make it through. Or just because of the power of prayer that man has and how much, he goes around and preaches the good word no matter what, even through this COVID. That could be why too. But remember, God allows things for a reason. But everybody else, and there was, counting the children, at least 25 people in that church. And everybody was diagnosed with COVID-19. Everybody's came back positive. Not one person didn't. But like I said, I have no regret. And now that I've experienced it, I can tell you all about it. The first couple of days before even being sick, in fact, I didn't even really think I was going to get it. My husband seemed to have caught it before me. He got it before me. He got some symptoms before me. He just said, I don't feel right. And I said, oh gosh, I hope we didn't get COVID. But I still thought, but it's okay. But when I knew, and people were calling, we had told the church that we didn't feel good, and they started calling me saying people were being tested, and they were tested positive. The first one was my pastor's son tested positive for COVID-19. So we knew that we probably, my husband at that point now knew that he probably had it. And I didn't know for a couple of days for myself, but then I started getting every single symptom that was on that list. So it just proves that no matter how clean you keep your house, and you guys know I keep a spotless house, I spray everything at least twice a day with that, the spray antibacterial. When my husband comes in, I make him take his shoes off. I spray the bottom of the shoes. I spray the bottom of my shoes if I go out. I wash and spray all the door handles. I make him wash his hands for at least a minute. I'm very healthy. I eat 1 meal a day. I do keto, all of it. But it didn't stop me from getting it. So it just proves that anyone can get this, anyone. And it's kind of hard to run from it, okay? Kind of hard. And like I said, now that I'm getting over it, I will be off of quarantine when you guys see this video. I'm doing it 2 days early. I'll be off of the quarantine. What was I saying? I'll be off of the quarantine in 2 more days or whatever. But gosh, I lost train of thought there, what I was going to say. Maybe it doesn't matter. But anyways, so, I'll just kind of go over and explain what I experienced. I had everything on that list. There's 11 things on that list of symptoms of COVID-19. I had it all. And it didn't matter how good I ate, how thin I am. Well, the matter of that, though, is it kept me healthy. So for the first, I know what I was going to say now. For the first 2 days, when I started to get symptoms, I did have some fear. I'm not going to lie. I told you guys about my heart condition. I really was scared about that because I remember back in March when this pandemic started, my doctor said, I really don't want you getting this. I said, yeah, but I'm so healthy. She goes, I don't because of your heart condition. She didn't know a lot about it then. Okay. This was all new. So I'm not going to lie. When this happened, I did get a little bit fear, but every time I did have some fear, I dropped to my knees, and it only happened for like the first 2 days. I had a moment where I cried a little bit and thought, oh my gosh, I hope I can get through this, as each day I was getting more and more ill. And I thought, oh, I hope I can get through this. And then I started to mend pretty quick. By the time my doctor called me 4 days later for us to talk and, to go over the symptoms and all of that, I already was starting to feel better, but I was experiencing more symptoms that weren't bad ones. But I had asked her then, do you worry now that it's been this far? And she goes, no, I don't worry as much. Just keep an eye on your lungs and make sure that you don't have any trouble. She goes, I'm going to call you in some of your inhalers and stuff like that in case you will need them. But if not, I mean, it seems like you're already on the mend. So I imagine you're just going to only get better. So at least it wasn't that long for me, but we had fevers. I had low grade. My husband's was higher. I had low grade fevers, 99.2, 99.8. I had low grade fevers. He was 101.7. Was his highest reading, I believe, but I think there was times that it was higher in the beginning because we didn't have our thermometer at first. Okay. So his was higher. Fevers, chills, headaches. Headaches, my husband said that were so excruciating for him for 3 full days that no matter what he took, and my doctor did tell me that we can alternate ibuprofen and Tylenol, that you can take ibuprofen now, that they're learning that with this COVID, you can take it. It is okay to do it. So they told me to alternate the ibuprofen and Tylenol every 4 hours. It wasn't doing anything. It wasn't even touching it for my husband. It was breaking his fevers because he was sweating all over the bed. But it wasn't, it wasn't getting rid of these headaches. I had the headaches too that lingered, but they weren't so, that I couldn't handle them. I could handle them just fine. So thank God for that. We had loss of taste and smell. We had coughing up the phlegm and things like that, which is good. It wasn't a dry cough. It was a wet cough, more of a wet cough. There was a little bit of a dry cough at first, but then it got more wet or whatever. We had, what was the other thing? Fatigued, really fatigued. I would say that's the biggest thing that lingers the longest is fatigue. Definitely a fatigued feeling. And I'm noticing everybody at our church is saying the same thing, but everybody at our church is all recovering. I told you guys about my family. There was at least 18 people in my family that got it, all ages, all health conditions, and all that. All of them got it and got through it just fine. And the 25 or 28 people at our church are all getting through this. My pastor and his wife are having a little bit of trouble with just having energy, okay? But other than that, they're getting through it. And my pastor's wife has asthma, and I believe she's a diabetic. I believe so, but is getting through it too. By the power and grace in God, and that's why I named this nail design Gracefully, because God is so graceful. He really is. From all the prayers, everybody's been coming on every morning talking. Of course, they closed the church down. You had to close everything down. Everybody had to quarantine and all that. But my pastor still came on every day and did a sermon every day for us. Still did that. He does that every day. Still did a sermon and still did his teachings on Sunday and Wednesday for church. Still came in and did that. But all the prayers, all the praying that all of us were doing, staying in contact with all of our family in church. We were all staying in contact, texting everybody to see how everybody was doing and all of that. And just, really praying hard for everybody, making sure, that God, please get us through this. Now, like I said, the first 2 days I had a couple moments where I cried. I was very scared, very sad. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if something really bad goes wrong and I end up in the hospital by myself and, my husband can only come in and see me once in a while and stuff like that. But then I said, Angel, stop. I would drop to my knees and I would pray. I said, that is the devil. The devil is speaking to you. If the worst of the worst of the worst, like I told you guys, and we do end up in a hospital and we die, heaven forbid, for the people that have lost loved ones. My heart goes out to you that has lost loved ones to this. But if you are walking with God, at least you would know that you're going to go to heaven and God would be with you every step of the way. So what I would say, guys, is get right with God, because I never could have gotten through this COVID without God. And I really thought I was going to skip it. How many times did I say, I'll pray for that hedge of protection for all of you. Please pray for it for me. But you know what? If we're going to get something, we're going to get it. You can't run from it. But God allowed it to happen after the revival. He got every one of us through it. We're all getting through it and getting better. When you are in the mend, you usually don't tend to turn around. It's just that a couple people are still a little bit tired, but every one of us are getting through it. We're off of quarantine here, and some people are tomorrow and the other people are Wednesday. So yeah, actually some are today and then Tuesday and Wednesday. But yes, it's just, I can't stress enough that I am so glad now that I've gotten through this. I know for at least 90 days now, I don't have to worry because I can't contract it again, as they're saying, the CDC is saying, and my doctor told me that you have at least 90 days that you have nothing to worry, and it's very rare for it to come back, the doctor said. If it does, it would be a much, lower case. You probably wouldn't even know you even had it. It would be a lot less than what it was because your body builds an immunity to it. So that being said, guys, don't try to run from this unless you are super unhealthy. I understand that. I understand people are going to be afraid, but unless you are super unhealthy, you have lung problems, things like that, or just could not handle getting this, then fine. Stay safe, stay inside. But if anybody is going out to work or you're getting packages or you're getting your mail, there still is a chance of getting it. Okay? You can't run from this. You just can't. It's a virus like they talked about that I'm sure it's going to hit pretty much everybody. All right? And it's proving. I know so many people now that have had it and gotten through it. But that being said, still take precaution, be careful, wash your hands. I don't mean run out and get it. Don't go lick door handles and, kiss somebody that has it. I just mean if you do get it, don't stop your life. If you go to church, wear your mask and all that. Go to church, enjoy yourself, get the glory of God. If you want to visit some family members and stuff, as long as they're not big groups, do what you got to do. Don't run from this. But if you are afraid, then yes, stay as safe as possible. But it just proves I stayed as safe as I possibly could, other than going to church and eating down in that room without the mask on. But how many restaurants are open and people are sitting right next to each other, no 6 feet distance at all? You can't eat with a mask on. So, it is possible for that to happen. The table is pretty big and we did kind of stay separated from everybody, but it doesn't matter. You're sitting, you're touching your mouth and all that. You're in a smaller room. It can happen just like in a restaurant, It can happen. So it just proves. But like I said, I'm like the cleanest person ever. I sprayed everything daily. You saw when I did my cleaning what I do, and yet I still got it. God said, my child, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to get through it. I remember saying to God 3 things. God, please don't let me get it. Or God, please don't let me know if I get it. Or God, if I get it and I have to know I got it, please let me get through it. Well, he answered. He answered the third one. He got me through it. My husband and I got through it, and everybody in my church is getting through it. And so I just want to be some inspiration to you guys and let you know that this isn't as bad as you think. 99.8% survival rate on this. They are coming out with vaccines. It's going to clear up, you guys. 2020 didn't have to be a hard year. But here I sit. You'd never guess that I'm on day 11, 12, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, day 12 of this COVID. And you would never guess I even had it. Actually, I wish I could have came in 5 days, into it, because 5 days into it, I was already feeling better. But I started to get a little bit of a cough and stuff like that. And I just wanted to stay away from the camera, just to take my time to give it to God, to really give a lot to God. And, I went through some depression too, knowing, wow, I have this in me. I don't want this in me. I want it out. But God got me through it. That was the devil just talking, trying to scare me. But God was there every second, every moment of every, just every single moment of that COVID. And even now, God is with me. He's with me, and I could feel his presence. And so I would say, guys, get right with God. That's number one in your life. Get right with God. Get your salvation with God, because if you do die from this, you want to know you're going to make it to heaven. But just knowing that you're walking with God, it will help you to get through this, because you don't want to worry through it, because of course that can, increase your cortisone levels and increase, you could get sicker. So definitely get right with God, get that personal relationship with God so you can pray and get through this and know that God is with you. I can't thank my good friend Jennifer Kraswinski for all her time and energy and effort in helping me. She is a nurse, and I believe her husband is a nurse or a nurse practitioner. I'm not sure. Sorry if I got that wrong, Jennifer. But she has talked to me many times on the phone. She talked me through it. She got me through it, was, reassuring me that I was getting better, that everything was great. She was so proud of me. And I thank you so much. She's the one that has sent me many gifts and done many stuff for me. She actually sent me another care package that I didn't even get to share with you guys, because I was already getting sick and things like that. So I couldn't even share it with you guys. For instance, one of them is a keto cereal. And Jennifer, I kept forgetting to talk to you about that. I did try it. It's delicious. I was looking at some of the ingredients. Again, more dirty keto. But I didn't slip out of ketosis. I did all right with it. But a half a cup is like 4 or 5 net carbs. So, but it's a chocolate cereal. I'll share that with you guys. So thank you for that, Jennifer. Thank you for the precious gift that gifts that you gave us. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate them so much. They were very needed, very much needed. And it was such a kind gesture. I am sorry I haven't gotten your polish out to you yet. You won, but I got sick right after. And so, of course, we were quarantined. Couldn't really go out except for mandatory things that I went out just a couple times to the store wearing a mask, using a credit card, because those are the mandatory things to do with COVID. And just, getting in and out. But I was the one feeling better than my husband. I needed to go out and get this. We had nobody here that could do it for us. My neighbor did offer if we needed anything. But by the time that I would go to her, well, then her son was gone to work then. So, and I knew I had to get out to get these medications and stuff. But she did bring over some great things. Thank you, artist, for that, for all the things you brought over to help us with that too. She gave us some zinc and vitamin C. Now, I got mine all through food. My husband did take some of the vitamins and things she brought over, and different things, the zinc and the vitamin C and the D and all of that. Thank you. And lots of teas she sent over. But I did it through food. I told my doctor that I was doing extra zinc through eggs and red meat and fish. And I was doing the vitamin C through lots of garlic. I ate lots of garlic and lots of jalapenos. And let me tell you, I didn't taste one bit of them. I didn't taste one bit. When I lost my taste buds, I couldn't even taste them. I was eating whole cloves of garlic and couldn't even tell that it was hot and spicy. But finally, the taste buds are all coming back now. But that kind of sucks when you only eat one meal a day and you can't taste it at all. Yeah, that kind of sucked. And I did lose my appetite. I wasn't that hungry and things like that. I did hold fluid. I was up like 6 or 8 pounds, and I was not even eating a full meal in that one meal because I just didn't feel good. I was nauseous feeling and stuff, but yet I was holding water. So it shows you that when you are holding fluid like that, like if you're sick, your body's going to hold it, because remember, you need to stay hydrated on this, on when you have COVID, you want to make sure you stay very hydrated. And I could tell that my body was holding it. I was drinking lots and it wasn't releasing it out. I was drinking lots of water, Powerade Zero, some soda waters and stuff like that, but my body wasn't releasing. I'm like, why am I up so much weight? I'm not even eating barely anything. But then it hit me. Your body, when you are sick, is going to protect you. And I wasn't taking any ibuprofen. Okay, I don't do the ibuprofen in my body. I can't. My doctor says that I can't because it years ago affected my kidneys or whatever, so I can't take it. So I was just doing Tylenol sinus because I felt like it felt like a sinus headache to me. It felt like I had a sinus infection / cold. That's what it felt like I had. If you want to know what I felt like it, and my husband and everybody at church all felt like they had a cold / sinus infection in their head. That's what it felt like. That's exactly the way to describe it, along with loss of taste and smell, of course, headaches, and fatigued feeling, and a cough. Like, just, it was like you had a cold. That's all it felt like to me. And it wasn't even like a bad cold. I have been way sicker before, way more sick. And like my doctor said, thank God you did what you did. Thank God you lost the weight, because this could have been more detrimental for you. With, me at one point, I had asthma. I was 300 pounds and my heart was only functioning at like 20% So yeah, it could have been very scary and way worse for me. In fact, we do have somebody at our church that actually did lose a lot of weight and stuff like that, I think through surgery. But he is older than me, I believe. I just know he's older than us. I don't want to say his age. I don't know if it's late 40s or 50s. I'm not sure. But his heart only functions between 25 and 30%. And he's getting through it. Okay? He's getting through it, you guys. Even he has with his heart. I mean, mine's almost 50%. Mine's like 45%, 43 to 45%. And that was 2 years ago. It could be even better now, because I've done all this fasting and all that. So I'm almost at 50, but his being so low, they were concerned, but he's doing well too. He's getting through this. Like, I know another woman, I believe in our church that's got it, that has efibrillation, and she's getting through it. So trust the good Lord. He knows what's best for you. He knows what you need to have and not have. Being a Christian, like I said before, does not mean that you avoid anything bad in life. We caught this COVID, and now it's gonna hit me. I can feel it. I can't thank God enough, because I was so afraid of getting this. But the good Lord came in March when some of this was being talked about, knowing, as bad as my anxiety is, that I would have suffered tremendously with anxiety and everything from it. So he came in at the perfect time. And I feel like that's when I truly got my salvation with God. I started spending so much more time with him. I even asked you guys, do you guys think I seem different? And a lot of you said, yeah, you seem different because I got closer to God. I got my salvation with God. I know where I'm going now. I know for sure. For many years, I didn't, even though I was a Christian. I do know. But I can't thank God enough, because this would have done me in. I would have been so afraid. I was afraid when my family had it. Getting it myself, this definitely would have done me in. I probably would have ended up in the hospital being so fearful of it. But I can't thank God enough. I can't. He got us through it. We fought COVID. We did it. Our whole entire church fought COVID. But we didn't have to leave the revival. We got that beautiful preaching and revival in us, and then we got sick, but we all are getting through it. And I just want you guys to know that you don't have to fear this. Like I said, you don't have to fear. If you're walking with God, he says it 365 times. To fear not. Fear not, my child, for I'm with you. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. So it doesn't mean that you can't die through this, because there has been people that have died. And that's why it's scary. Mostly elder people with a lot of health conditions. But what he means is he's always going to be with you and walk you through it. And if we die and go to heaven, what a much better place to be than here. It's been a tough year, COVID. Our election, all messed up. Just a lot going on, you guys. But when you lean on Christ and you trust Christ and you lean on the good Lord, he's going to get you through it. I never thought I could ever get through something like this in my lifetime. Of course, the media made it out to be scary for people. Don't let it scare you. Walk with the Lord and know that he's going to get you through it. He will. And if it's your time, we're all on a time clock. From the day that we're born to the day that we die, we're on a time clock. So God knew the people that did die from this COVID, that was how they were going to die, and that was going to be their time. We can't stop our time. Whatever God has planned, it's his plan. So lean on God, because I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord, for getting my husband and myself and my church family and my family all through this. Because now I can enjoy Christmas, Jesus' birth, Thanksgiving. I can enjoy all of that because my entire family has had this. So we can't spread it anymore to anyone. So now I get to enjoy the holidays, because I was fearing that too. Getting sick from the holidays. But now I'm going to have the best holidays ever. God knew when to give it to me. He knew when I was going to get it and that I would get through it. And I did. I fought COVID's butt. I fought it by the grace of God. And I had a little saying. Roses are from God. Violets are too. We're all beating this COVID. So let's give God what is due. I love all of you guys very much. Thanks for being patient and waiting on me. Thanks for all your prayers. I'm sure your prayers helped me even more to get through. Even though you guys didn't know what was going on, I thank all of you. And I will continue to pray for all of your safety as well. Just try not to fear this. If you get it, try not to fear it. Many people are getting through it. Many are getting through this. If you're new to my channel, right there is the red subscribe button. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. So you're notified of all of my new uploads. Share around my channel so I can help many people with their faith. Hopefully this video alone here will bring more people to the Lord. And that's what I, couldn't stress enough. Get close to God. Get that personal relationship with God, in case you get this. 2, try to be as healthy as possible. I would recommend keto, because without keto, they're even proving that low-carb diets are helping viruses. And it definitely, because I got over this quicker than my husband did. I definitely did. Because I eat healthier. So definitely try to eat healthier. Definitely. And thanks if you could share around my channel so I can help many more people. And shoot me a thumbs up if you love the fact that I kicked COVID's butt by the grace of God. I love all of you guys very much. Everybody take care. God bless. And I'll see each and every one of you in my very next upload. Don't fear. Don't.